Transcript of the text message from the squatter to OOP's sister. Only because you are sick, and yet with all my friendship and love, do you have clean sheets I can put and take the ones off your bed? Your room is a mess. I've been cleaning the entire house the entire day and I'd like for you to arrive to a nice home and a clean room. Tomorrow should be a new day for you, a white page to start. And no, that I'm doing this does not mean I'm going to ask for a rain check on money matters. That stays. Perhaps precisely because of that, and because now I'm aware the money issues brought tension, I really want to clean the mess and clean the air, for both of us. I screwed up, big time. And I myself have gone through my own pain and medical issues. That doesn't mean we need to live the last days in a Cold War. I care about you, and I clearly see you need to heal. Please let me help, again, is the least I can do. Just let me know where they are. OP's post below the text message. Some backstory. My sister has been non-communicative for several days, which has been odd. My parents are in Australia and the hospital could not reach her, so none of us knew she has been ill. She has a severe infection to several organs and has been in and out of consciousness and has sepsis. We are worried for her life. This woman is 40 years old and constantly says she'd have the rent, but after 3 months my sister filed to evict her and is suing in small claims court. The audacity of this bitch, while my sister is critically ill, to call her room a mess and ask for bed sheets as if that equals not paying rent is baffling. I've never seen a more tone-deaf text talking about her own medical and financial struggles while my sister has been paying everything for her and is clinging to life. Additional information from OOP. Edit. If anyone sees this, I'm flying out tomorrow AM and will be staying in my sister's room. I am going to be an absolute menace and make the apartment unlivable during my stay. I'll keep you all posted. And edit. This comment later. My sister is more stable than this morning but still not out of the woods. Thanks for the kind words. Edit. Number 1, hi all. Thank you so much for all the kind words. I showed my sister this post and it cheered her up. I'm sorry I haven't updated much. I've barely slept since landing here and my sister's condition was very serious. She went into septic shock and nearly died, but she is stable now. As for the roommate situation, I'm also sorry for an anticlimactic update. As per my sister's request, she asked I not terrorize her because she is worried her squatter will harm her dog when we aren't home visiting her in the hospital. So I've just been stewing. Other than 1, being loud at night, 2, not intentional, but I've had these insanely loud and long farts, like my ass should have taken a breath long, and let him rip when I walk by her door because she leaves it open. 3, having a loud conversation on the phone with my friend within earshot of how my sister has a piece of shit squatter that won't leave at 2 AM. She's also been excessively nice to me and said, make yourself at home. I replied, well, it is because I pay rent and move into your room on the 1st. I'm not actually, but she reached out to my dad and asked to speak with him privately, I'm assuming about money and legal matters. Squatter is convinced it was an old pizza that gave my sister sepsis and wanted to bring my sister flowers, to which I said, my sister does not want to see you, quite frankly. She's also not been home other than that 30 minutes when I first arrived, so I haven't interacted with her hardly at all, unfortunately, other than that conversation and waking her up accidentally. The real update will be on the 31st if she doesn't leave and if she doesn't pay what is owed for small claims court. I'll update again then, hopefully with something more entertaining. Relevant comments. If you can, stand up for your sister. Tell this bitch to get out of your sister's room, to leave your sister's stuff alone, and fuck entirely off or you'll be arriving with police. I would be so devastated to wake up in ICU to these fucking texts. OP Squatters writes, unfortunately. Otherwise I would absolutely throw all her shit out on the street, but legally I can't, and I've also been in a different state across the country. However, I'm flying out tomorrow and will be staying in my sister's room, and I very much look forward to blasting loud music all night and being an insufferable human. Wishing your sister a speedy recovery. Do the doctors know how she got sick in the first place? Maybe I've listened to too many crime podcasts, watched too many thrillers, but is it possible the roommate retaliated on your sister after she filed for eviction and sued her? The roommate's text reads, guilt-ridden to me. OP, as of now she had an ovarian cyst pop that got infected somehow and became PID and eventually sepsis. So I don't think the roommate is involved. It's odd, she thinks she and my sister are best friends, but my sister despises her very openly. Deleted commenter, did she poison your sister? OP, no, so the sepsis was caused by either an ovarian cyst burst, she also has PCOS, or a malfunction with her IUD that got infected, became PID, then sepsis. It's then spread to her lungs and other organs. She sounds like a junkie who is high while texting. All happy and shit while they have their drugs. I fucking hate drug addicts. I am an IV heroin addict, recovering. OP we think she's got some psychosis going on. She keeps calling my sister in a panic saying someone broke in and stole her pasta because my sister likes to leave her window open. They are on the 8th story. No one is breaking in to steal your fucking pasta, lady. I'm sorry you're going through that. It's tough. I'm a chef and see a lot of it, unfortunately. I hope you kick it. Update, February 3, 2024. If you haven't seen my previous post, please check my profile. If you have, sorry this has been so long to update. My sister is stable and got discharged a day or two before the 31st. She couldn't do some things by herself, so my mom decided to stay with her until she could function fully on her own. I wanted to stay, but there was no room in the 2-bed apartment between the 5 of us including squatter, so my dad and I flew home. Unsurprisingly, the squatter came up with some bullshit reason why she couldn't pay the $6,000 or whatever it was that she said she was going to before being evicted. Side note, I was under the impression the small claims was already served, but it was not. I also did not know that she did not have US citizenship, and having a criminal record means deportation. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but this is pertinent later on. So squatter says she can only pay $2,000 and the rest will be on a payment plan. My mom said, absolutely fucking not. Squatter says she talked to my dad on Facebook and made out a payment plan. If you knew my dad you would know that would never happen. My mom says, okay, let's call my husband then. She calls and my dad says he never received a message or agreed to a payment plan. Squatter admits she just lied to my mom's face. My mom says that she needs to pay $6,000 immediately. Squatter begins telling another BS story as to why she can't pay. My mom gets the papers, serves her the lawsuit and says, no, you're paying it all. At this point the squatter freaked out and said, but I could be deported. Mom said, not my problem. Then she started crying and went on this long sob story about how she was raped when she was 8 and is struggling with alcoholism. My mom said, sorry, but that doesn't mean you can't pay rent. If you pay everything before your court date we will drop the lawsuit, but if not we'll take you to court and you'll be deported. She paid everything and left. So she had the money the entire time. I guess on her way out she thanked my sister for being nice and complained about my mom and I being aggressive. My sister said, quite frankly you're lucky you roomed with me because I don't know if my sister would have beat the shit out of you and then robbed you, or robbed you first and then beat the shit out of you. Which is a little bit of an exaggeration, but my mom said her face was priceless. That's pretty much it. Thanks for all the kind words. It really cheered my sister up. Relevant comments: GTCK11 glad to hear you got the money and she left willingly. Also glad your sister is better. The deportation card was huge. I don't know that y'all would have gotten this favorable outcome without it. How were things when you showed up? Was she living in your sister's room and going through her things like many suggested? Was she shocked when you walked in the door? OOP, yeah, none of us knew that was an angle until she was served. When I showed up she was exceedingly nice to me, which was annoying. I was prepared to be insufferable to get her out ASAP, but my sister asked me to not be a psycho because she was worried the squatter would hurt her dog while I was at the hospital. She said, make yourself at home, and I said, well, I'm going to be paying rent, so your room is my home. I was loud at night and had a conversation about how my sister had a crazy squatter in her apartment that she overheard, but other than that it was pretty anticlimactic. She wasn't home a lot. I did tell her to stop caring for my sister's dog and to stay out of her room. Story 2. I'm gonna say that today was one of the most insane days I've ever had in my life. It involved me contacting the sheriff and picking up the paperwork for a restraining order and involving my attorney, all because our snow plow guy decided to threaten me and my family. So here is the story. It's a long one and a crazy one. Late last year our house was ruined from water intrusion in the roof. It's been a massive insurance claim, and as part of that the insurance company has been paying for us to rent a house nearby. We moved into this place recently and it's been great so far. One of the benefits was that as part of the lease we would have someone who would come by to snow plow the driveway. Which was great, and the weekend we moved in there was a massive snowstorm, 60+ mph winds, and the driveway at our new place was snowed in. The plow guys never showed up, so I basically shrugged it off, got my snow blower, we brought ours to this place, and cleared the driveway. I messaged the owner and asked if she could share the plow guy's phone number so I could message him. She did, and surprise surprise, it was actually someone we knew, small town. This guy has a reputation, but we never had any problems with him. So I sent him a message and said that we were living at this place and that I had my trailer parked in the driveway and would need him to keep the snow banks pushed out so I could turn it around properly. I also offered to help keep the parts he couldn't reach clear with my snow blower, since plowing around a trailer can be a pain. By the way, this is a super massive driveway and parking area. I have 4 trailers parked and there is still tons of room. They are also parked in places out of the way of his push paths. For what it's worth, if he had said to me, "Sorry, I can't plow your driveway as is," I would have been like, "No problem at all, I will take care of it." I had no expectations of him at all and was fully prepared to do it myself. But he said all was good and told me not to bother snow blowing as he would be by with his machines to clear things up. Well, not long after, another storm come by, 1 to 2 of snow on our driveway, and my wife can't get out. So I got up, started the snow blower and cleared the driveway. By the way, this is not a quick process, it takes me about an hour to do the whole thing. His employee with a loader shows up at 10 p.m. that night, sees the driveway looks clear and drives on by to his next stop, a house close by. I didn't make a fuss about it because I get it, maybe we are the last on the route, but I can't just sit inside all day and wait. I just thought, well, this guy got a freebie on me. AKA he didn't have to do the work. A short bit of time went by and I woke up to go snowmobiling. We had a fresh 18-inch of snow on the driveway, the plow guy hasn't come and I had to depart at 8:15 to meet a friend at the trailhead. My trailer weighs 7,000 pounds, it's 28 long, enclosed and holds 5 sleds. My big truck with brand new top-of-the-line snow tires can't pull that thing up a hill in 18-inch of fresh snow. So I got my snow blower out, cleared the path from the trailer to the main road and off I went. I got back at 4 p.m. They still weren't there, so I cleared the rest of the driveway so I could turn around and park the trailer. Their guy drove by at 10:30 p.m. at night. Now here is where the crazy starts. The owner texted me today and said, "Do not snow blow your driveway anymore, you are taking money out of my pocket," to which I responded that I have no interest in snow blowing my driveway and would prefer for them to do it, but that I need them to come early in the AM because we work and need to get out of the driveway and I can't get my trailer out without a clear path. I've tried. He called me immediately after that and all hell broke loose. The phone call went like this. "You better stop doing what you are doing because we are contracted to plow that house and you are causing me to lose money every time you do it. You need to learn how to just deal with it when it snows." I told him I was dealing with it. If I can't get my car out of the driveway, I clear it. I don't have time to hope they show up. During the call he called me in Fing Py and said I needed to learn how to drive my car like a man. That I should go park my trailer in town the day before and that I was not allowed to plow my own driveway. He then told me how my house was the lowest on his priority list, but he still felt entitled to the money for the plow fees. I didn't know this, but apparently his contract is a base monthly rate and a very large payment for every extra plow when the snow is above 6 inch. Our insurance pays the homeowner directly, so we aren't really aware of this. But anyway, the call got heated with him yelling at me to stop fing him over and how I'm apparently a dumbass and I'm not allowed to clear my own driveway. At this point I basically said that if it's such a problem, perhaps I'll just call the owners and suggest they cancel the contract. I'm the one paying for it, I do have a budget with insurance and this is a line item, so why have someone who treats me like shit? From here on out it got worse. He started making threats about how if I get the contract cancelled he is gonna come down here and deal with me, and lots of other things not worth saying corresponding to threats against myself and family. I ended the call. They immediately called the local police department, filed a report, a case was opened and I was referred to the sheriff's office. I also called the owners who were appalled by what had happened. They immediately sent him a note stating he to no longer come by the property and cancelled his service. To add to this, it's not the first time he has done something like it. The sheriff's department is very familiar with him, as are many people in town. So yeah, that's where we are, and feel free to add thoughts and advice. We have security cameras all over the property and will be following up with the authorities. What a day it has been. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to connect with each other in the comments below. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and I'll catch you in the next video. Corner Stories signing off.